So this is going to be a kind of introduction to phonetics, right? For the people who want to know something about how speech sounds are produced, right? So Vignesh wanted to get some understanding of how the vocal organs produce different speech sounds.
Yes.
So what we are going to do is to go through some basics of articulatory organs like lips and teeth and the tongue and so on, and how they produce speech sounds. And in the course of doing that, our main purpose is to make you produce some of those sounds, so that you get an experience and understanding of how speech sounds are produced.
Actually, before that, Vignesh, do you have any questions that we should clarify?
Yeah, so I don't have a question, but I have a hypothesis that the vocal cords, that is involved in all sounds. Whatever sound we produce, without the vocal cord, you cannot produce sound. That's the hypothesis that I have.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Okay.
So I'm going to say a sound and tell me if the vocal cords are involved.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, let me also produce.
And compare that with the sound that I'm making. So
versus.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the difference between
the two?
Okay. Oh, Su does not require the vocal cord.
Yes.
So snakes. Okay. The snakes, the S in snakes does not involve vocal cords. Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
And the Z in zebra does involve.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the only difference between them. So if you say
yeah, you will hear the difference. Also, there is another way of perceiving the difference, not through hearing alone, but if you touch your throat and say, you can feel the vibration if you touch your throat. Like that?
Right. Oh, so all the way we have been misled, saying that vocal cord is the sound box. Our mouth is also part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And there is something else. You say and touch your head like that. You can feel it even there on the skull.
Yeah, that's the skull.
Yeah, when you say there is no vibration on the skull. Yeah.
Yes, not. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny.
Now let's go to the vocal organs, all the way from the lips to the throat, and of course even something like the lungs. But we're not showing the lungs.
Yeah, but we need a picture of that.
We need a picture, Rashmi. Can you magically produce that picture? That's your vocal organs. So this is, let's say this is, I should run this way. Imagine that this is what I'm doing and somebody's cutting me to the middle and you see my lips and my nose and so on. And you can see the insides of my mouth. And even Tara's mouth, right? It'll be the same. Yeah. So let's move from the lips to the, to the back of the mouth. So what are the noises that you can produce with your lips is the question. Okay. Now, can you say pa, ba, ma?
Pa, ba, ma.
Okay. Now say ka, ga, nga.
Ka, ga, nya.
Nga. Yeah, okay. Can you feel what the difference is between them?
Pa, ba, ma. Pa, ba, ma. Okay, that's only the lips, right?
Only the lips, yes. Whereas no lips are involved, right?
Ga, na. Yeah, but notice that na requires tongue.
Yeah, that is true. But ignore the tongue for now. In fact, the only thing is to say pa, ba, ma, you need both lips.
Actually, before you go there, Vignesh, it was not na, but ka, ga, nga. And the nga, the last one is in the word sing.
Sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Ka, ga, nya, the inner. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Nga, nga.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's try this exercise. I want you to say k, g, n like that. Put your fingers.
Bite your finger
Yeah.
or take a pencil and put it between your lips. I mean,
Uh-huh.
now
Yeah.
say ga, ga, nga. Yeah.
Now say
Ga.
pa,
Say
Pa,
pa,
ba.
ba, ma.
Oh. So you can't.
You have to close the lips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to bring the two lips together to produce the sounds. So linguists say that when you have lips, it's called a labial sound. Labial meaning lip, right? What are the other sounds that you can make with your two lips?
Lips, labial would be involving lips.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't mean that two lips have to be involved.
No.
No, any one lip will do. But let's discuss other things that you can do with your two lips other than pa, ba, ma. Can you vibrate? Can you vibrate your lips?
Well, no, that is is here. Okay.
I'm sure you used to do this as a kid.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between brr and brr? Yeah.
No, I don't. And what is the other thing? Is air pushing out?
No,
In both
actually,
cases,
yeah.
there is, yeah.
No, again, listen, Vignesh, it's
So on one hand, you have some constraint. You're what to say? So you're putting a pressure on the lips, right?
Is there any other difference? Now touch your throat and see if there's a difference.
I don't see that seems to be the same.
Your vocal cord, this is not vibrating when you say one of those sounds?
No, no.
You don't see the vibration?
Both of them have a mild vibration to me.
That's interesting. Try this one. No. Okay.
Fine.
Let's try another one.
Okay.
You can sing with. You can change your pitch, right?
Yeah, right.
Changing your pitch with the other sound.
Oh no, you can't do that. No, you can't. Yeah.
Change your pitch when you sing comes because of the vocal cord vibration.
Okay.
When the vocal cord vibrates faster, there is higher pitch.
So you can't sing when you're whispering. You can't sing in a whisper, right? You might think you're singing, but nobody else can hear it.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
because whispering is simply no vocal cord vibration.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So whispering is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But try whispering.
I don't think I can.
Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And since we're making all these funny sounds, you can also bring the tip of the tongue on the upper lip, like that, and make it vibrate.
No.
Try this one. Can you see my teeth? I mean, lip and the tongue.
That touches the upper palate, not the lip, right?
Just look carefully. It's the upper lip and the tip of the tongue. You can see it.
The noise is coming from inside. It's not coming
It's
from.
coming from the entire mouth vibration, but it's my it's my the tip of the tongue and the upper lip vibrating. You can make an X-ray photograph if you like. You can see the vibration.
You can see the vibration, but the sound is actually coming because you also have the r sound coming in there.
Because the vocal cords are vibrating and the whole mouth is vibrating. I mean, the air is vibrating. Anyway, we always have these family quarrels all the time. Okay. So, you know who is right? The person with the mustache is always right. That's how it goes. Anyway, forget that one. So, we're talking about labial sounds. And this sound that I produced just now, the tip of the tongue and the lip is only one lip and the tip of the tongue.
There are other sounds. Actually, you don't have to go to fancy sounds for that. So, for example, f, as in fancy. It's the lower lip and the upper teeth, right? Or very, fur, and ver.
Yeah.
So those are also labial.
Yeah, see the picture.
Right. So fur.
You're looking at
Fur is the lower lip and the upper teeth. Fur.
Both fur and ver.
Yeah, both fur and ver. Correct.
Can you say both side by side to see which one requires vocal cord vibration?
Ver requires the vocal cord vibration.
Yeah. And the other one?
Fur.
Yeah.
Fur is
it's important to not say the after it. You have to say something like because otherwise the verb has vibration, so it can get misunderstood for also having that. So you have to say it when you're trying out these sounds. They have to be said in isolation, without the vowel after it.
Okay.
So if you want the vowel, you could say fa, fa, fa. The middle one, that's a consonant. That doesn't have vibration. But unlike that, if you say ava, there is vibration throughout.
Has the vibration, correct?
Yeah.
Does not have. Okay.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now this one is labial and this is also dental. Dental because it involves teeth.
Okay. Fine.
So in the other one, when it was both lips, you call them bilabial, both lips. And this one you call labiodental. It's the lip and the tooth that is involved. So labiodental.
So can we make sound with the lower teeth and
upper lip?
Try making that. You can't hear the difference, but it's
but it's easier to say it the other way, right?
Yeah.
That's right. So that's
and this feels a little strange. Saying it with the upper lip and the lower teeth.
Yeah.
And so given the two,
right, it's also difficult to do it. It's difficult to do it.
Right. So what happens is, on the one hand, you need the contrast between the two, which you don't get. You don't get two different sounds.
At least hearing-wise.
Yeah, here or auditorily. At the same time, of the two, one is much easier than the other. So you minimize effort and say the fur. So you get the lower lip. Lower lip and upper teeth.
Yeah. Okay. So that's always the case with any sound. I don't remember having it strained like this.
So that's one of the general principles, right? That you minimize effort.
So I'm going to make a noise and you tell me whether I'm using lips or my hair or whatever, the tips of my fingers. Ma.
So you're using your lips.
Yes.
Both lips, huh?
Both lips, bilabial.
Now I'll show you what I was doing. Ma.
You're speaking.
And the upper teeth. There is in terms of hearing, it's very difficult to hear the difference.
There's no difference.
How did you say
Ma, ma.
Like ma?
Ma.
Yeah.
Ma.
ma? Oh, okay. So you bite the lips.
Yeah, bite the lips.
Ma.
Yeah.
But this also includes the tongue touching the palate, right?
Tongue is not needed.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah.
The tongue is irrelevant.
Yeah. You can also bite your upper lip. Ma.
But notice again, you don't get any contrast. So with all three, you get exactly the same sound. Perceptually.
Yeah.
And at the same time, both lips is the easiest. So you're maximizing contrast and minimizing effort simultaneously. Right.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So you don't get a contrast between these three different ways of saying them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are, some of these are only both lips, the others are teeth and lip. But we call this labial anyway because lips are involved. Whether two lips or one lip doesn't matter. Now there is a couple of sounds that are found in native English, but not in many of the Indian versions of English. And those are the sounds, the beginning sounds of think, T-H-I-N-K, think, and then.
We say think and then, right? Then. But in English, in native English, it is then. If you listen to them carefully,
it's a continuous sound.
It's not then, but then and thick.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not think, it's think.
Yeah.
I get it. Sink.
So let's do the th and the sounds again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the words thick, thick, if it is said either as thick or thick, as we would say it in India, it is not understood by a native speaker, especially if we say tick. Right? It is heard as tick. And
actually, if you say tick, they might hear dick, really.
Yeah, well.
Because,
Right. And THEN, then, if we say it as then, it will be heard as den.
Yeah.
So the sounds are f. If you stick your tongue out and say it,
can you move your this thing forward, close up?
You do it.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to this side and do it. The. I hope everybody can see that the tip of the tongue is in between the teeth. Did you see that, Vignesh?
Is it th?
No. You breathe out.
Actually, one way to do it is
right.
No. If you say sir with your tongue a little bit out, then you'll get it.
Hold your tongue in between the teeth.
No, sir, but
come closer. Yeah, and maybe turn to this side, Sarah, so that you can be seen easier. Turn a little bit. Yeah.
You mean
that? Hold your tongue like this. Can you see the tip of the tongue?
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be like that. Yeah. Now breathe out steadily. Don't say th, but long sound. Yeah.
That's
okay.
The one.
That's the one. Yeah. So it feels so artificial initially, but you get you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You mean to say when we say then they hear it as then is it?
No, if we say then, they would hear it as den.
Den, yeah.
Okay, and how do they?
They would say then. Then.
Then.
So the point is that there is air going out from between the teeth and the tongue continuously.
Okay.
It's not
So
it's
not like ta, ta. It's a sudden, letting go of the contact. In this case, there is no contact. It's just you're bringing the teeth, the tongue very close to the teeth, and air is flowing out continuously.
okay. So it's then.
That's right.
Then.
Closer to that one. Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't touch the upper palate or anything, teeth or anything.
No, there's no contact anywhere.
Except just below the teeth. Yeah.
How do they say thought? It's again thought.
Think and thought and then and that.
That. Yeah. Everything. All PHs.
All PHs.
Okay.
All right. So I think that should be reasonable. Now shall we move on to
another question? Is different language speakers pronounce it differently. So what then forms the basis for a theory in phonology? Because if right, I mean, how do you come up with a framework for a theory? That's a thing, right?
I think, that's probably especially if you're looking at cross-linguistic variations of that kind. That's probably for another time.
Yeah.
We can just focus on the articulation right now.
We are just making sounds at this point.
Right.
And then how you classify those sounds then becomes part of, that's where you go into the theory part.
Okay.
And very briefly, we have worked on the phonology of Malayali English. Just that. And the phonology of Malayali English that we worked on was about like 30 years ago, right?
No.
When was that?
We worked on it only 10 years ago, but
yeah. The phonology of Malayali English as spoken by Malayalis 30 years ago. The system changed already in 30 years. So we have to redo that again, which we haven't done.
Okay.
So that's the short answer to the question. Each variety, each group, each time has to be done.
Right.
Okay.
Now we let's go to the next set of sounds, perhaps. So we've talked about lip sounds. Now this is the tongue and teeth sounds.
Now the tip of the
doesn't between either of these. The TH. I can't spell it. Do it.
You mean the TH?
Yeah.
Yeah. The TH falls into the tooth and tongue.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
now we're going to talk about the tongue and the area behind the teeth.
The palate. Right.
Actually, you don't get to the palate. If you run the tip of the tongue from your teeth backwards, you'll feel a little bump over there.
See, in the picture in figure 5, you see a kind of shape like this.
On the
convex shape.
Behind the upper teeth.
And then it becomes concave, right?
Yeah, correct.
That bump is called alveolar ridge. It doesn't matter what the name is. You can also say teeth ridge. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can put the tip of the tongue on that bump. You can make different kinds of sounds. You can make the sound t, which is putting the tip of the tongue on that bump. And you can also put it slightly differently in that area, and you can say t, as in the Indian sounds. The, th, the, th, na.
Yeah. No, d goes a little further in, right?
Yeah.
No, ra is there in Tamil, right?
Yeah, but ra we'll come to.
We'll come to that a little later. Yeah, it's a little complicated. So does Tamil have a distinction between t and the?
Yeah,
but
there are
no. Okay, so Malayalam has attam, 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 three of them,
Roughly in that area.
right?
Yeah.
Does Tamil have all three?
I think we have only two. It is attai, attai.
Okay.
Okay. Then,
Not the bump here. Attai is, we curl the tongue a little further.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Atta, you do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sounds are called retroflexes,
Yeah.
just for the,
Right.
So in these three sounds, these sounds are produced the tongue tip and that bump behind the teeth called teeth ridge. There is no air going out when you say that. For example, when you say attam, attam. So in between the two vowels, atta, there is a silence. That silence is the consonant because there is no air coming out.
Okay.
If you say,
Okay.
attam,
So
yeah,
the English at.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
that the English is the third one that in between the other two that Malayalam has,
Yeah.
the one we were asking if Tamil has.
Yeah. Tamil doesn't
Okay.
seem to have it. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, Tamil does.
Mm.
Do you have something like Netri?
Netri. Netri.
That-
Net.
Okay.
He's citing that. Yeah.
It's
It's a
retroflex.
post-alveolar sound. Yeah.
It
Not
is
exactly.
Neti.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it's Neti. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So Malayalam has attam, attam, the t being the same as the English t, and the attam, the
Yeah.
the retroflex, the three-way.
Okay.
So these are all cases where the tongue tip makes a contact with that bump. Right? You said. You can also keep the tongue tip very close to that bump and let air flow through it, like.
Okay. Now you said all three sounds there's a contact at the alveolar ridge. That's not true because there's no contact with the for t and for t. The contact at the alveolar ridge is only for the t.
Well, when I say attam, there's a contact between the tip of the tongue and the blade,
Okay.
Yeah.
How about attam?
Attam.
There's no contact to the alveolar ridge at all.
It's curled back.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Forget about these little details where even our speech is slightly different. We're giving a broad idea. Yeah. So the people who are listening should be aware of these subtle differences. When you say asa, asa.
Actually, say that asa and then suck air in immediately.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Assas. No.
No. Breathe out air and then breathe in air. Yeah. When you breathe in, can you breathe cold air on that bump?
Yeah. So it just sticks to that ridge, right?
So where it gets cold tells you where the nearest point, the nearest narrowing between the two parts are.
Yeah.
Right? That's where the sound is being produced.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there is another way of doing it, not very pleasant. What you do is you put your thumb behind the teeth. And you can see that bump. And put it further back. And then suddenly it becomes soft, jellyish kind of. When it becomes soft, not hard, then that is where the palate begins.
Okay.
So we have been talking about the bumpy, hard part. And then when you put it further back, it becomes soft. If you put it further back, you start throwing up.
No, hang on. What about the hard? The palate doesn't begin. The soft palate begins further back.
I forgot. That's right.
Yeah.
The hard palate is still concave, and then it becomes soft and mushy.
Actually, Rashmi, if we could have the picture.
Yeah. Can we have the picture of the mouth? Yeah.
Yeah. So there is right behind the alveolar ridge, the palate starts becoming
concave. Yeah.
And say the first 2/3 is kind of hard. You can feel that hardness if you put your thumb through run your thumb along it. And then it starts becoming soft.
Yeah.
So the hard part is called the hard palate, and the soft part is the soft palate.
Soft palate, yeah.
And then, so it's just to make it easier to describe the sounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So to go back, is produced by the blade of the tongue and that bumpy part, but the vocal cords do not vibrate. If you make the vocal cords vibrate, you will get zzz. So you should be able to alternate between zzz, 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 and when you do that, you will have this vibration in the throat when you say zzz. Okay.
Right.
And exactly like the contrast between th and the difference is vocal cord vibration.
Th and dr.
And what we talked about earlier.
Those difficult sounds. Forget about the difficult ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then comes the hard palate, the concave part, but hard. What you do is, if you say, what should we say? E, A, A. Okay. Behind the blade of the tongue is the body of the tongue. And the body of the tongue can be pushed forward, pushed back, or raised or lowered. These are the 4 movements for the body of the tongue. Forward, backward, raised, and lowered. Now, don't worry, we'll show you how to do that. If you say E, A, E, A, can you see that?
E, A, E, A. Right?
Now do this. Either put your finger or a pen between your teeth and then say the same sound again. E, A. So your jaws don't
not like that, Vignesh. If you can put it across right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between it. Yes.
And say E, A, A.
E, A, E, A, A.
Can you feel the tongue moving up and down without moving the jaw?
Correct.
Right? Now say a, the same way. A, not E.
Actually, if you can say something like the sound in hat.
Yeah, that's better.
Right? And the sound in car.
Okay.
Say that, and you'll see
the tongue moving backward and forward.
Cat, hat, and
with the pen. Without the pen, your jaw will move. Yeah.
Hat,
just about. Yeah.
Right.
And say and you can really feel the tongue body moving back and forth. So up and down, back and forth.
Okay.
So when you move it, push it forward and raise it, you get the sound E.
So you have that in the picture, in the first one, in figure 7. You have the tongue body. Ignore the blade, the front, the tip and the blade of the tongue. And then you have the tongue body, the muscles of the tongue. Push it forward and up.
Yeah.
Right? And in 8, you have A, where it's lower down. So there is a greater space between the palate and the tongue for the air to pass through.
Now try this. Say I and raise it further.
Try and do it continuously, Vignesh. If you say
and raise it further.
Okay. So the cavity there, it sort of comes smaller.
Yeah. Until it has a contact, and when you release the contact, you get a sound ke or ge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Now there is another. Go ahead.
Right. So when it touches and then you release it, right? Not care. Yeah. Right.
So it's different from kia, ya.
Yeah.
This is different from that. It's just, it's a single sound.
Yeah.
Right.
A surprising thing, if you say the word yes and say the first consonant, the year.
Yeah.
The year in the English word yes. And you make it very long. Say the word yeah, but yeah. Say it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So that's what.
Yeah. The first part is actually the same as E.
First part is, sorry?
Think the sound that we call yeah, which we think of as a consonant,
so
same as E, except there's a transition.
Yeah. Okay.
But people have a concept that this is very different from E.
So let me ask this. So when we say yeah, right? So that's the sound. Yeah. It's not E, but it's there is some air that comes out. Yeah. Right? So it is not.
If you think of it as in yes, you think of the E and from moving from E to A. Yeah. Right? And if you're saying, if you say something, if you want to say something like yard, you think of it as moving from E to R. Yeah. Right? But you're just saying it very fast. And
so if you say it slowly, you'll sound like E. That's what you get. Slow motion.
Yeah. Okay.
So we are going to skip some. Well, let's go to the soft palate part of it. So if you pull the tongue back and raise it, okay, and now you say Now do the same thing. Don't focus on the lips. Focus on the tongue body.
Okay.
Do that
with
the pen. And then down.
Let me do it once more.
Yeah.
But is it what? It's only the lips that curl, right? Yeah,
so
but
put your lips like that, and just use the sound, the tongue body, and and ignore this part.
No, without moving the lips, I don't know.
You cannot say "oo" because it'll sound like the sound that you're going to get is something like if you ignore the lips. So there, what happens is the tongue body is pulled back and it is raised and lowered.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Before that, Vignesh, say, you did the thing with sir. You said a long sir and sucked air in. Do the same thing with e and oo, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Say e.
E.
Yeah. Let air in
immediately.
Yeah.
So there, when it's sort of going in, right? So you feel the air more inside.
No, the question is where do you feel the air? Where does it? Where do you feel the coldness when you do e and ooh?
It's all a little deeper.
Yeah. Further back.
Yes. Right.
So that's a soft palate.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3 places where you feel the cold air. One is the bumpy tooth ridge, and the palate and the soft palate. Right. And if you say and you pull the tongue further up, push the tongue further up, you get a G sound or a G sound.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's all?
Okay,
No.
instead of that, just say ooh and raise the tongue out.
Yeah.
See what happens. Ook, 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 ook.
Closes the. So it touches up. The back side of the tongue touches up.
And
Yeah,
the sound
right.
that you get, what is the sound that you get when it touches? What? Ka and ga,
Right,
ka,
ka and ga.
ga. So those are the ka and ga. That's where ka and ga are produced.
Oh, okay.
And you can also get the sense of that by saying K, 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 K. Then you'll feel the air rushing out.
Okay. Right. So yeah, that's sort of
Ka and ga are the same. Ka and ga
Except the
are
vocal.
yeah, except for vocal cord vibration. Ka and ga are the
Yeah.
same. And also, if in the same place, say ka ga nga, ka ga nga.
Kagana. Kagana comes not na.
Not yeah. No. Ka ga nga, nga in the same place. And
Kaganya. Nya.
ka ga nga.
Well, how will you say manga the way Malayali way, not the Tamil way? Manga.
Manga.
Not manga, but manga.
How do you say singer?
Ah, singer.
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 Yeah.
Singer.
The nge
Okay.
of that sound, not nge. Nge is different. Okay.
Okay. So yeah.
What we're trying to do is to get you sensitized to your own mouth and internal stuff, so that we know how to produce those noises.
Right.
Okay. We'll just do one more thing. No, maybe two more. Behind that thing, behind the soft palate, is something that you use for gargling, or when you open your mouth for the doctor to see. There is a thing that is hanging.
A little tongue that hangs from
Yeah.
there. Okay.
Rashmi, can we see the picture?
The uvula.
Uvula, yeah. Yeah. The thing marks 7. You see that? That is called uvula. Okay. That thing in the picture is in contact with the back of the mouth, the pharynx. Right? It is in contact.
Actually, the velum also goes up and
Yeah.
gets further up. Yeah.
The entire thing can be moved up and down. So when you move it up, it closes the passage to the nasal chamber.
So
Marked number.
the passage of air coming from the lungs can come out either through the mouth or through the nose, right?
Yeah.
And when the uvula area goes up and closes that passage, there's no air through the nose.
Yeah.
When it comes down, you get sounds through the nose.
So the way to make yourself sensitive to that is to say ah, which is only through the mouth. But when you lower the soft palate, you get ah. So if you say ah, 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 then you feel this.
So
No, just
the
there's no nga there. And there's because no na at all. There's no na there, Vignesh. It's just because na requires a contact. There's no contact. It's continuous air flowing. There's no it's not no.
Tamil has ava. When you say he.
When you say ava poita.
That's the sound. Yeah.
There's no na there.
Yeah. In Hindi, there's the hair and the hand. Yeah. Hair is only through the mouth. Hair is through the mouth and through the nose.
Okay.
That's right.
So the difference there is through the mouth and through the nose. and the other is only through the mouth, and you can also have only through the nose. So if you close this, it's going only through the nose. Okay.
Yeah, you can't close the nose and the mouth and to make that sound.
Right.
So you have either air going only through the mouth, or only through the nose, and so on, and both mouth and nose, and so on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we come to this part, the vocal cords. Okay. To be sensitive to what lies behind this here, try to do this. I want you to hold your breath, release it, hold your breath, release it, hold your breath, release it every second. Can you do that? So hold your breath, you try to lift yourself up, or hold your chair and lift yourself up, your vocal cords would close automatically.
True.
Or you can
hold. Yes.
Breathe out. You can breathe out and stop breathing. That noise that you hear is the vocal cords stopping. Yeah.
If you say something like, okay, now if you say something like, what I'm doing is closing the vocal cords
and releasing.
Right.
No, you have to close it completely. To close it completely, it has to be
Okay.
Yeah.
And then air is coming out. Okay.
Is it?
So you can close it completely. You can open it fully and panting. It's completely open, right? You can also close it not completely shut, but loosely in contact. And when air rushes through, they vibrate. It'll sound like, it'll be like, but you can't hear the little bits of vibration because the vibration is very fast. If I slow down the vibration, it'll sound like this. Can you hear the vibration little pieces now towards the end?
Now
it sounds like a motorbike revving.
Okay, I think we're playing.
No, but it's important to do these exercises so that you know exactly what is happening with the vocal cords. You have to practice this in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you something that will tickle you. Okay. You can also close one part of the vocal cords and let the other part vibrate. And that is called falsetto. So normally it's falsetto.
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of people sing in falsetto.
Yeah.
To get a high pitch, it's not full throated, it's falsetto.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is also used in yodeling. Yodeling is switching between regular voice and false voice.
Okay. Okay.
People used to do this very well, yodeling. Yeah. Okay. I think we should end with yodeling because it's not used in language speech sounds, but it's used in other things. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that should be a reasonable account of the kinds of things that you can do with your mouth. Of course, we didn't touch anything. We didn't touch upon things like air coming out from the lungs. Or air coming in from outside. That is also phonetics, but we're not going to do that right now because I'll make some sounds, okay? So there is the sound ba, which is the English ba. There is also the Sindhi ba, which is ba, ba, ba. It's called implosive. It is rushing in.
No,
not ba. Ba. What happens is you move your lips and you lower the closed vocal cords and then release the lips and air rushes in. Ba, 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 ba. Don't worry, it takes some time to get those sounds, practice those things.
Okay.
And you also make noises like these are called injectives. Sorry, ejectives. right? Where these are the other kinds of noises that you make, and they are found in some human languages. And there are things called clicks, like, sorry, I'm making an injective there. Okay.
Okay.
And
So
There is, I'm sorry, click. Click. Injective is different. Injective is, different kind of stuff that you. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm saying all the wrong.
this is what the Muslim people do, right?
Yeah, there's a language called Osa in Africa. Yeah. Click,
Okay.
click noises.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do all that stuff. That is, this approximate coverage is sufficient as a kind of starting point for phonetics and phonology.
Okay, so what we did was start with the sounds th and the, and went on to the alveolar, what are called the alveolar sounds, and also the blade of the tongue and the palate.
Let's see the picture. That'll be easier. Deshmi, can you do the last slide? Yeah. Okay. No, Tara. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, you're going to. I just wanted a picture when you're saying it.
No, so we looked at the sounds where the tip of the tongue, or the tip and blade of the tongue makes a continuous sound when it comes close to the teeth. And then we looked at the different sounds that you make with contact with the alveolar ridge, and with the hard palate and the soft palate. And in the process, we also looked at the sounds of vowels, where you move the tongue up or down, what you see here is perhaps what's closest in the picture, is closest to what the tongue would be at rest position, where you're not saying anything, the mouth is resting. But from there, it can go up, down, forward, and backward. That's what we looked at, which is what is done for producing vowels. Okay, so these are the things we did today. And last time we looked at the lip sounds, the labial sounds.
Mm. Yeah.
And we also looked at the air passage through the mouth and through the nose, the oral passage and the nasal passage, and how you can produce sounds with either just air going out through the mouth, or just the nose, or a combination of it. Have I left out anything out?
No, I think for the rest of it, I think they can read the chapter on articulatory phonetics in our web book,